All right, so now that we've talked about slope, we're ready to start graphing some lines, and we're going to go through how can we make quick graphs of linear equations. So we need to figure out first, what's the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept is just simply where the graph crosses the y-axis. So it's the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. And then what's the slope-intercept form? Okay, slope-intercept form, that's just the tried and true y equals mx plus b. Okay, so here, m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. And again, those are constants, so that we're going to have those numbers and they're going to stay the same. And then how can we use the y-intercept and one other point to quickly graph by hand? Well, if we know the y-intercept, we can use the slope to just go our change in y compared to our change in x to find whatever point of the graph. So we're going to use the slope. Use the slope to find another point. Okay? So, graph equations. This is what you need to do step by step. Write the equation in slope-intercept form by solving for y. So we want to get y by itself every time. Find the y-intercept. Okay, so that's going to be our b value. Find the slope and use it to plot a point. So the change in y compared to change in x. And then draw a line for the 2 points. So let's do an example. Alright, so here, graph y equals 3/4 x minus 2. So I'm just going to write up my slope-intercept form. Okay? We already have y by itself. That was our first step, get y by itself. Now what I like to do is just identify what the slope is. So here the slope, based on our rule up here, m is 3/4 and b is -2. Well, b is -2, that's my y-intercept, so that means that's the point where it crosses the y-axis. Excuse me. And then I'm going to use my slope. Well, remember, slope is just simply the change in y over the change in x. Okay? So since the change in y is positive, that tells me to go up 3 units. So 1, 2, 3. So I go up 3. And then the change in x is positive, so I go to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where my new point is, right here, at 4, 1. So now I want to draw a quick graph, so I want to do my best to draw a straight line through these 2 points. I know that's not perfectly straight at all, but it gives you a good sketch of what's going on. That's it. That's how we do it. Okay. What's the standard form of a linear equation? You might remember this, you might not, but it's ax plus by equals c. And here, a is not equal to 0. Or sorry, a and b not equal to 0. Not both equal to 0 at the same time. One can be equal to 0, but not both. And what's an x-intercept? Well, if the y-intercept was where the point crosses the y-axis, x-intercept is where the graph crosses in the x-axis. So the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. And then how do we graph linear equations that are in standard form? Well, what we're going to do is find both the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So find the y-intercept and then find the x-intercept. Okay, so how do we find the y-intercept? Okay, well, essentially the y-intercept is just when the value of y when x equals 0. How do we find the x-intercept? Well, it's just the value of x when y equals 0. So it's going to be really, really easy for us. And this is what we just described. Write the equation in standard form. Ax plus by equals c. Find the x-intercept by letting y equal 0 and then just simplifying down. Plot that x-intercept. Find the y-intercept by using x equals 0. Plot the point. And then draw a line for the 2 points. So let's do an example. So here I have it in standard form. So ax plus by equals c. And I like to just be in the habit of writing down what A, B, and C are. It doesn't really help us right now, but it'll help us later in the course. So as soon as we get used to that idea, the better. So first things first, I'm going to find the x-intercept. Well, the x-intercept happens when y equals 0. So if y is 0, well, 3 times 0 is just 0. So this piece is going out. So I'm really solving the equation to find the x-intercept. I'm really solving 2x is equal to 12. Okay, well that just simply means x equals 6. Okay, so that's right here. That's my x-intercept. To find my y-intercept, that's when x is equal to 0. So 2 times 0 is just 0, so I can cover that piece up. So I'm really solving the equation 3y equals 12. So that means y is equal to 4. So my y-intercept is right here. So now I have 2 points that I'm just going to connect both of those. Connect both of those points. And there you go. That's it. As simple as that. That's why I personally like standard form a lot, because it's super quick, super easy to draw a line. Okay, what does a horizontal line look like? Well, we know the horizontal line is flat horizontally from left to right. It looks like that. Okay, but what does the equation look like? Well, it's just simply y equals c. Y equals c. So what that means is we have our ordered pair is 0, c. So our x value is always going to be 0, and then c is just some number. It could be positive, it could be negative. And we're going to draw a horizontal line through that point. How do we graph a horizontal line? Well, we just find that like I just described, so we won't go through that again. What does a vertical line look like? Well, a vertical line looks straight up and down. Okay, and what's in the equation? X equals c. And so the ordered pair is going to be c, comma, 0. Now c is just some number, so we're going to find that ordered pair and then draw a line straight up and down through that. So that's how we graph that. So let's do an example. So graph y equals 3. Well, anytime you see just y equals 3, y equals a number, you need to think horizontal. And I would encourage you to actually write that out. So y equals 3, so I'm going to plot that point and then draw a horizontal line through it. As straight as I can. Not really straight, but you know, I don't have a ruler up here. And then here, x equals negative 2. Anytime you see x in just a number, you need to think vertical line. Okay, so I'm going to find the point x equals negative 2 right here and draw a vertical line through that point as straight as I can. Okay, and that's it. That's all you do. Okay, that's it for this video. Good luck graphing easily.